Introducing the brand new for 2025 Lab Odyssey AI Square to Square Max stripe. Now this is going to cause some controversy in the golfing world because let's be fair, it's kind of a bit like I've copied your homework, isn't it? Guys, today we're talking about this putter. We're going to talk about how potentially this kind of putter is changing the world of golf, making putting easier, and how a lot of the brands are putting their own spin on it and not so much putting their own spin on it, just basically walking with it. So, Chris, how are you?
Very good, yourself?
I'm all right, thank you. What are your initial thoughts on this? Because I must admit, when I saw it, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Lab putters myself.
Yeah.
And I've got this bad boy in the bag at the moment. So this is the Mez one. It's a bit more of a normal looking putter to the kind of DF3, which is what,
yeah,
I think it's fair to say, even the guys at Callaway Odyssey would be like, yeah, we've kind of took inspiration from that. But have you seen what they've done with the ball as well?
They've also done a similar ball to TaylorMade.
Yeah, the stripe one. So, but this happens in golf, and it happens across the board with different brands as well, because I do believe that TaylorMade have done this with Callaway putters in the past and vice versa.
Did it with the ball as well?
And with the ball. So, because actually Callaway were the first ones to do the picks, remember?
Yeah, the True Viz.
Yeah, with the True Viz. So, but we're going to put these to the paces today and just see how good they potentially are. I think this is going to be an interesting one for Callaway because they're obviously taking this market very, very seriously. This zero or low torque putter very, very seriously for people to help them improve the game. It is coming in more expensive than the original square to square putters, so we have to bear that in mind, because I think one of the huge factors that Callaway or the Odyssey had over Lab was potentially that lower price point. Now these aren't coming in that far away from Lab, so it does look good. I must say it looks nice from up here, but it actually looks quite difficult to set this on the right lie angle, so it'd be interesting to test it and see potentially how good this putter can be. But also one of the things which I think is an interesting one is the grip on here. So the grip is just a kind of standard Odyssey grip. We don't have that kind of forward setting grip. I thought I'd seen that online. If I have, I'll put it. Have you seen it where Odyssey have done one?
I'd seen it online as well.
But then I also thought that Lab had the patent for that, so I might be wrong. But obviously the big factor here is designed to potentially eradicate, that's a better one, isn't it? Oh, how's that one not gone in? Potentially eradicate three putts and just help you potentially lower those scores a little bit by hitting the target more often. Now, I'm going to be honest here, I like what Odyssey have done in the original square to square range, where they've tried to make them look a little bit more like normal putters.
Yeah.
This, however, I'm surprised they didn't do this first. You know, like as soon as the square to square range came out, because that would have been a massive talking point like this is now. I think it's quite difficult to line up.
I think that a lot does come down to the grip though, I think, as well, but PXG have just brought the grip out.
Yes, they have.
They've got the press grip.
I think I prefer the one that Chris has got. So looking at that, I'm struggling to line up the kind of white centre stripe here.
I see what you mean, because these are harder, because you go for a normal grip and you can see the face as you look down on it, so you feel like you have to
forward press, don't you?
You have to put that press on yourself, which then for me doesn't feel very easy to take away, to be honest.
No, that was a nice roll though on that one.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the differences on these two putts, because there's two options here, and as you can see they are incredibly similar looking down this way. So we have the square to square Max stripe and of course the Max 1, incredibly similar, very exactly the same shape. Then we do put them down and you can see quite a bit of a big difference there. So you can see the stripe one does have that potential alignment aid. I'm surprised there's no kind of Versa technology in that.
Yes, I am
thought
as well.
Maybe that might be something they incorporated to put their own massive slant on it. Which one do you prefer the look of? Because I think I do prefer the kind of standard looking one here that you've just started with.
Yeah, I think I do as well. It's a little bit too much on this.
That's a better roll. That's a really good roll.
Well.
I feel like they sit differently as well. You go with that one now and see if that sits any different. Really interesting technology for people who are potentially struggling with the putting as well. But I feel like here you almost need a bit of a lesson as well with ball position and handle position.
So I think this one's easier to get in a good position at address randomly. Just come off like a rocket.
But then I feel like because the putter wants to move on an arc, the squareness of it doesn't really want you to move it in on the way, but they're trying to get you to go literally square to square, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is a difficult thing to do with a putter unless it's...
I mean, it's interesting from Odyssey because Odyssey are the #1 selling putter. They are #1. I believe Lab are #3, but obviously they've rustled a few feathers, have
How
Lab.
difficult's that putt, by the way?
I think we picked the hardest putts on here.
Lab have rustled a few feathers, but also I think they've potentially took the industry by storm, and there's not many golf sub-industries, we'll call them, golf ball, driver, wedges, that can be taken by storm. But the guys at Lab, and obviously Sam Hahn and the team, have certainly made it easier, or made it potentially a totally different skill set.
I mean, the zero-torque putters for most golfers will help them all round. Pace, more importantly, line.
I prefer this one massively. I think it's a bit more quiet, less going on.
So I think it's just easier to get this one where you don't feel like you're pressing it as much.
That's a lovely roll.
Let me have that one back. I just think the grip's a huge thing on these putters.
I think the grip's huge. I also think length is huge, because we always get 34-inch putters, don't we, from Odyssey, and I do, if this was more like...
So your putter's 35, mine's 36, so straight away, not necessarily the perfect length for us.
And I must admit, would you want to be that guy in your group that has a putter that... Because there was always a joke, wasn't there, about having FM radio or it being a bit kind of big and cumbersome. And I think Odyssey have got that many really interesting shapes in the square to square lineup, similar to the guys at Lab, where this potentially I think should be not the sweet spot, but it should be the one that people think, oh, that's the more forgiving. That one looks like it's going to be the easier one to use. As we're proving here, though, I don't think that's necessarily the case too much. Took a bit of a skip.
I will hole one. I'm determined. The video's 20 minutes long, guys. It's me trying to hole a putt.
So one of the areas that Lab have done this incredibly well is the ability to adjust them on the website, to kind of tweak them and make them your own. One of the things that Callaway are doing really well, you can have different grips, you can have your different length, you can potentially do bits like that, but you can't have different kind of alignment tools and aids and things like that. But then we do have the two options, so I feel like Odyssey have potentially tried the best for people in that regard, and then just keep it simple, I suppose. So let's feel here where we can... That one felt nice. Do feel like there's a lot of getting used to the visuals of it, and once you do, because this is the one that I didn't really fancy, but if I'm trying to really just kind of simplify my putting stroke here, and that's what I think the guys at Callaway are wanting you to do with this, and that's what I think the guys at Lab are wanting you to do, at PXG are wanting you to do, at Axis One are wanting you to do. Just treat it as simply as possible, rock those shoulders, and then if you've got the right line, essentially you're going to put better. I was looking at you then as you got the camera, but Bobby's here, isn't he?
Bobby's there.
Bobby's there, right.
Oh,
you know what, like, it can grow on you quite quickly, this whole concept, because I was a non-believer as well. Before we tested the Lab stuff more recently, I was a massive non-believer in this, and then we saw the stroke to stroke or straight to straight. That was
square to square.
Square to square. I just can't get it, can I? Square to square.
Pete's got you.
But I feel like here, all I'm doing now is like, I'm not even thinking about it. I've been thinking about the stroke a lot, but literally I just stand up and hit it, and you can see that we're getting a lot better results.
Yes.
That insert's nice as well.
Yeah, you can't beat the Odyssey insert. I think it is one of those that's been around for a long time now, the white tops.
And like from your time spent on tour, it is a massive thing that the pros know exactly what insert they want to feel. They want. Is it urethane insert this? So it's urethane on urethane essentially.
I'm not too sure, but I know when they brought in the micro grooves and they brought the O-Works ones, and a lot of players wanted the white hot face putting back in, so they did have to bring that back. So it's interesting that they've stayed with that, stayed with trusted and proven technology. It's funny because I feel like massively what Odyssey are doing here is going, right,
The last thing we want to do is lose customers to the likes of Lab or to PXG or to any. That took a right sideswipe, didn't it?
Did it, yeah.
To these other brands. So what we're going to do is we're going to offer everything that they do visually pretty much, and we're not going to lose the customers. I don't think they're too worried about new people buying these kind of putters, but I don't think they want to lose their faithful people that
If you're an Odyssey person and you want a zero torque and you like the look of the DF3, you are probably going to buy this.
Yeah,
Nice
100%.
and easy. A Callaway man who likes a white hot face, or Callaway lady.
Do we know of any tour pros that have potentially got these in? I think they were testing them on tour, weren't they?
I don't know of, not in the top 25. I don't think I saw a list of destiny.
But then I also think the best putters in the world probably don't necessarily need line goal balance putters, don't necessarily need zero torque putters. You're probably more thinking about not having a great day.
No.
They've been working their whole lives on a different kind of stroke and a different kind of ideology on how to putt, haven't they?
Yeah, I think these are more designed again for even your beginner golfers.
I've used to took the words right out of my mouth. I think for a beginner,
fantastic option.
This totally changes how a lot of people would necessarily teach golf as a whole and teach putting. I spoke to Joe Ferguson from Golf Monthly when we were out at an Odyssey launch, and he said it's astronomical how it just makes it such a different skill set than a putter that you would have to really feel like
you're trying to arc or you're trying not to arc. Or...
Yeah. Guys, if you've enjoyed that, smash that subscribe button. What do you think? Is it a step too far for Odyssey, or is it something you potentially have in the bag for 2025?